Designed to help you win the bid, save on labor costs, and keep your installers productive across your entire build. The sooner you call us, the better. Because when we're there from the beginning, we can anticipate your needs and help you solve problems before they become problems. Yep, Gray Bar does that.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app. This is the Verizon Extra Innings Show. Verizon, the most reliable 5G in St. Louis.
Maton comes set. 1-2 the count. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And the Cardinals win game one here in Denver. Maton finishes it up. The win goes to Michael McGreevy, who went a very solid 7 innings. The Cardinals win game one, 6-2.
We do welcome you into the Extra Innings Show as the Cardinals come away with the victory tonight. They knock off the Colorado Rockies by a 6-2 score. My name is Matt Pauley. Good to be talking to you after a Cardinals win. We have not been able to do that in a while, but here we are. That is a good win for the Cardinals tonight. Going to a place and playing a team that they should win, but they shouldn't have gone swept against Arizona. So sometimes just doing what you're supposed to do is notable, and that's what the Cardinals did tonight. They should beat the Rockies. They did beat the Rockies, and we have good things to talk about this evening. If you want to join in on that conversation, multiple ways for you to get connected with the program. You can call or text 314-436-7900. That's 314-436-7900. You can tweet at me at Matt Pauley on air, MattPauley on air. Or for those of you who are watching us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, you can leave a chat or a comment in the chat, and we will look at those as we go along, just like Joseph has already done, saying, just win, baby. That's what they did tonight. You take it. A lot of good things to take away from this one. I don't know what's going to happen over the next week or so leading into the trade deadline. If you were with us for the pregame show with both Redbird Rush Hour and Sports Open Line, we talked a lot about what John Mozeliak said to the media today about what happened against the Arizona Diamondbacks has started to kind of set the tone in the conversations leading into the trade deadline. But if the Cardinals have a ton of success here, and then San Diego comes in, the team that they're chasing in the wild card race, and they have some success there, things can change, and things could change very quickly. So let's just see what this team does. All you can do is take these things one day, one game at a time. I'm not saying anything special is going to happen here, but I am glad to be talking about a Cardinals win. I'll say this. Michael McGreevy has to be in the rotation. He has to be. You can't send him back down. And before anything happened here, this was being referred to as a spot start for McGreevy. And then prior to the game today, Oliver Marmol made it very clear that he wants McGreevy here and doesn't want this just to be a spot start, wants him to spend the rest of the year with the team. We'll see. Eric Fetty's going to pitch tomorrow. We'll see what happens with Fetty and Michaelis here moving forward. But considering the pitching issues that this team has had, to have a guy, and look, I get it. Colorado's not good. Okay. Colorado's still a really tough place to pitch, especially for a young guy who doesn't have a ton of experience in that environment. Of everything that Michael McGreevy said during postgame, and hopefully you were tuned in with us during the network postgame to hear from McGreevy a little bit, of everything that he said that I thought was interesting, he talked a lot about seeing how the altitude impacted his pitches. And that was something he was kind of taking note of at the beginning. That's pitching. That's pitching. Watching what's going on, because pitching in Colorado and pitching at Coors Field is unlike doing that anywhere else. And for him to be able to kind of evaluate as the game is going along, what he was seeing as the game did go along, I thought that was really interesting from him. So I appreciated hearing that tonight from Michael McGreevy. Message comes in from Jeremy. He says he shoved tonight. Yeah, absolutely. And that was he was just really good. He was really good. So if you want to get in here, you can do so. 314-436-7900, 314-436-7900. That's how you call. That's how you text. You can tweet at me, at Matt Pauley on air. You can also leave a comment in the chat like we've already seen from Jeremy and Joseph, and there's some other folks coming in on that as well. Offensively, good night. They needed it. They scored 6 runs on 15 hits, and some of the individuals who came through, I've made a big deal of this. Maybe I've spent too much time talking about it, but I'm not confident about 5 and on in the lineup right now. I'm confident in top 4 with Donovan, Herrera, Contreras, and Burleson, but when it goes past those 4 guys, I don't have a lot of confidence in what they can do. Well, today they did a lot. Nolan Arenado, 2 for 4, 2 runs scored. He had a double and a walk. Mason Wynn goes 3 for 5 with a double and an RBI. Jordan Walker, good day from him. Liked his approach at the plate. 2 for 5 with an RBI. Pedro Pajes, 1 for 4 with an RBI. Victor Scott II goes 1 for 4. So your bottom 5 guys in the order account for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 hits. 9 of your 15. That's good work. I'll take it. So that's what this team needs to have and needs to be able to accumulate as they go. So win 2 more games. That's the next thing. When you have the opportunity to play the Rockies, win these games. And if you can win these games, you come back home. You've got Colorado, and see what might happen. One of the one negative note in this game came with Alec Burleson, as he fouled a ball. A ball off his foot. Was clearly in a ton of pain. If you were listening during postgame, we heard from Oliver Marmol. He didn't have much of an update, but Burleson himself did speak with the media. This audio is courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network Midwest, as he gives an update on his health situation.
Just got me on top of the foot. I think it was like half guard, half just straight foot. Didn't feel great.
What are they saying in terms of trainers? What are they?
So it's not broke. Got an X-ray. It's not broke. Just a contusion. And we'll just take it day to day. We'll see how it feels in the morning, waking up. Just kind of bust it up with treatment and try and get the inflammation and soreness out, and then move on from there.
You stayed in there, and that swing, you could see it was hurting you an awful.
Yeah, it just gave out on me. Running the jogs didn't feel great. But I thought I had enough to, finish that at bat. And then I just went to swing, and just front foot just gave out on me. Kind of rotating into it didn't feel great. So, just take it, like I said, take it day by day and just see what we're working with.
That is Alec Burleson. That audio is courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network Midwest. So good news there. Nothing broken, so the X-ray comes back clean. Still, there is a contusion that can be painful. So even though there's no break, that doesn't for sure mean he's going to be back in the lineup tomorrow. But it probably does mean if there is an absence, it's not going to be an extended absence. So that is good to hear. Tate sends in a message, says it was a great win for the Cardinals. Nice bounce back win after getting swept by the Diamondbacks. Let's roll through some of the text messages that have started to come through. Our guy Ball Game comes in, says the 52nd raise of the glass and tip of the cap goes to Nolan Arenado. To hear the reception that he gets in his first at-bat was a reminder of what a terrific career and impact he has had on baseball fans. Playing a demanding position, he has been a master of his craft, and it's been a joy to watch him play at the hot corner. And the other side story here on Arenado was part of the comments that John Mozeliak made to the media prior to the game today. Mo is in Colorado with the team, and he addressed the team from the Cardinals dugout prior to the game, and he said that they are going to approach Nolan here coming up on the trade deadline and just see if a trade presents itself that the Cardinals would be comfortable with. Would he be comfortable with it? And to what teams would he be comfortable with it? So kind of, maybe, sort of, here we go again from the offseason. The benefit of this is the trade deadline's in a week and a half. so it's not going to be 3 months of speculation about Nolan Arenado getting traded, but there is going to be some speculation here moving forward. Brock sends in a message, says, great win tonight. It was great to hear the response for Nolan Arenado. Great to see him get 2 knocks, and great to see Wilson Contreras get the big hits to put the Cardinals on top. Do you think the pitching would be better if they trade Eric Fedde? I think this rotation would be better with McGreevy and Matz in it. And with Matt, it's a process because he's not stretched out. So it's not an immediate, you don't get the immediate gratification of a 5, 6, 7 inning guy by putting him in there, but you can probably stretch him out pretty quickly. And my contention would be that this team is better, the rotation is better with McGreevy and Matz in it, and Michaelis and Fedde not in it for the time being, for now. And however that has to work out, that's how it works out. Now, a lot of people ask about Fedde getting traded. I don't think he has trade value right now. I don't know what you get back for an Eric Fedde. So, and there are still things that are enticing about an Eric Fedde. Now, it's probably not enough to have trade value for him, but it is probably enough that you don't want to just throw him away. So if there's an opportunity to get him into the bullpen in a very low leverage situation, if you do take him out of the rotation. But look, we'll talk about this more tomorrow because he's going to pitch tomorrow. So the answer about what they should do here moving forward is going to be presented better tomorrow. But the thing about McGreevy pitching well tonight, the Cardinals right now, so you have Fedde and Michaelis, who we've talked about a ton. You have Andre Palante, who has not been very good recently. You have Matthew Liberatore, who's been hit or miss recently, and they're pushing back his next start as he approaches what's going to be the most usage that he has had in his career. And then you've got Sonny Gray, who is really, really good. And when he's got his best stuff, it is still really good. But also, there are some inconsistencies that go along with that, especially some of his home road splits. Walt comes in here. Really good question here. What's the motivation for Mo to make any statement about Arenado and trade possibilities? Seems unnecessary to even make that comment. I think he's answering questions, and I think he tends to be honest, maybe too honest. I know people like to beat up on John Mozeliak. I know that's and he's made some moves that are questionable. The whole McGreevy being down at AAA thing, I think that's been a Mo thing more than an anybody else thing, and I've disagreed with that. So I don't think I'm an apologist for John Mozeliak. I try to evaluate the things that he does that I agree with and the things that he does that I don't agree with. And if it has been if his voice has been the loudest voice in McGreevy not getting the opportunity till now, I would very respectfully disagree with that. I think McGreevy should have been here while you're going through a period of a lot of not so great starts, specifically from Fedde and Michaelis. But again, one of the things I really appreciate about John Mozeliak, and you hear him here on KMOX a lot, he's on with Tom every single Sunday morning. He's very gracious with his time. I find him to be very forthcoming. Now, he is still the final baseball decision maker for a Major League Baseball team, so he can't always say everything that's going on. But even when you go back to the offseason, when he said that they were attempting to trade Arenado, a lot of people said, well, why do you even say that? And he kind of later on said, maybe I shouldn't have said it, and thought that a deal was basically done at that point in time. So, Walt, I think it's a really good question, a really good observation by you. And I think it's just he was asked a question and he answered the question, and it's not a whole lot more than that. Whether he should have said that or not, yeah, I understand. Because now all of a sudden, all the stuff from the offseason gets picked up once again. 314-436-7900, 314-436-7900. That's how you call. That's how you text. If you tweet at me, it's at Matt Pauley on air, MattPauley on air, or as all these folks have done that we've mentioned who have left comments inside of the chat. You can do that if you're watching us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We'll go ahead and take a break, and we've got more coming up in just a moment. Cardinals get the win over the Rockies 6-2. This is the Extra Innings Show on KMOX.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
There's a big red barn where you say green. Norm's Bargain Barn. On discount windows, doors, and things. Norm's Bargain Barn.
Hi, I'm Norm Wilkie. Come see my new selection of Amish cabinetry made by my good Amish friends at Countrywood Products. We now stock 5 styles of cabinetry for you to choose from.
When you need to save on discount windows, doors, and cabinetry, come to Norm's Bargain Barn, with locations in Shiloh and Fenton at the bottom of Gravois Bluffs. Visit normsbargainbarn.com.
That's normsbargainbarn.com.
Now, back to the Verizon Extra Innings Show.
Cardinals get the 6-2 victory tonight against Colorado. Welcome back. The Extra Innings Show rolling on right here on KMOX. My name is Matt Pauley. We really appreciate you staying up late with us. Cardinals out west, they're going to be back home coming up later on this week. They'll be at home on Thursday to open up a key series. Really, sometimes I like chaos. For people who do what I do, chaos can be good because there's a lot of stuff to talk about when there's chaos. But let's put this out into the atmosphere and see what happens. You have John Mozeliak going out, publicly speaking before today's game, and for the first time kind of acknowledging, maybe even conceding, but acknowledging the fact that this team might have to take a different approach at the deadline of maybe looking to 2026 and not looking to 2025, and points very specifically to getting swept in 3 games by Arizona. So let's put this out there. What if the Cardinals sweep Colorado, which certainly is not a crazy statement, and then they come home to face off against San Diego and somehow, some way win 3 out of 4 against San Diego, and then all of a sudden Miami comes in with a couple days leading into the trade deadline. At that point, it's not a foregone conclusion on what they're going to do. It is so kind of just, it's mucked up around the, so many teams there around right next to each other, trying to kind of get back into legitimate wild card contention, because the Cardinals, the Giants, and the Reds are all 3.5 games back of the Padres. Cardinals, Giants, Reds, all sitting with a 52-49 record. So let's throw that out there and see if we can maybe create a little bit of chaos here going in. Text message from the 2 says, it's obvious the ownership and the front office wish the Cardinals wouldn't win another game before the deadline. Lots of examples of that. McGreevy not being put in the rotation weeks ago. We're not idiots. We know what's going on. I disagree. Now, I've been on record. I think McGreevy should have been here. But I laugh at this text, and I'm not laughing at the texter. I'm just laughing at the like, I'm going to use this word. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the person texting. I really appreciate you being listening in. But I laugh at the ludicrous nature of this text, because what is the number one complaint of Cardinals fans? It's that ownership only cares about money. Well, even there's money that goes along with being in the playoffs. And I know they wouldn't be hosting a first round series, but you never know what happens. Like, no, the ownership is not rooting for the Cardinals to not win another game. Now the front office is ready for if they don't keep themselves in playoff contention, they're ready to respond to that and react to that. The McGreevy thing, I think I've talked about this a lot, and I don't want to I hate just repeating the same stuff over and over and over again. But I do think that often the Cardinals make decisions that are based in fear. And why I would specifically to this is they don't have a whole lot of starting pitching depth. So you keep running Fetty and Michaelis out there more so as a way to preserve pitching depth than you do because they're going to be the best option, because you really can't move on from those guys but keep them in the organization unless you find an injury and get them on the injured list. Because where this fear is well, what if you DFA Michaelis or DFA Fetty or something, and then McGreevy gets here, but then a guy or two gets hurt? Well, then you just don't have any starting pitching. And I think that partially motivates it. If you listen to Bernie Miklasz has said this a lot, and it's something I think through a lot when I'm just kind of in my own quiet space and I'm thinking about the Cardinals. This is something that I do consider. Bernie has mentioned the fact that with the Fetty thing, there's maybe some organizational, I don't know Bernie's exact words, I'm trying to paraphrase, like puffing out the chest of trying to make sure that the trade from last year worked. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. I think there's other the McGreevy thing, there's probably multiple reasons for it happening the way it's happened. The organization not wanting to win games is not one of them. Text message from the 812 asking what I think about Pedro Pages, saying that going on about where he should be and his usage, and also talking through Pozo and where he's at from an offensive standpoint. Pozo does more for you right now offensively. I was really happy for Pedro today. They came up with the hit and the RBI. That was good to see. Pedro is a fantastic game caller. That is something that he is really, and the pitchers really trust him. There's value in that. I do think when you are struggling to score runs, looking to get him some more at-bats and some more opportunity back there makes some sense. I really appreciate the confidence and that pitchers have with Pages, and I appreciate how hard he works and the game plan that he puts together on an everyday basis. I would not be upset to see a little bit more of Joel Pozo as a way to be a bit of better offensive club. That's kind of where I'm at on that situation. But I don't want to dismiss the impact that Pages has from and I say defensive standpoint. I think it's really the game calling more than anything else. He's an okay receiver. He's fine. He does the job. Not a bad throw guy. Maybe a few pitches get by him that I would rather him not, but I think it's more about the game planning for him. Extra Inning Show being presented by Gray Bar. Gray Bar is your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Again, if you want to get in here, you can text 314-436-7900. You can tweet at me at Matt Pauley on air, or you can leave a message on the chat for those of you who are watching the video. Lots of things continuing to come in. Let's go to Henry, who says, massive win tonight. Nato, Win, and Willie all had amazing games. Pages gunning down a runner today. Cardinals are still right there in the race. Massive homestand coming up after the series. I would absolutely agree. And it just this next series, I know you're not supposed to, count the proverbial eggs before they hatch and everything, but I think the Cardinals will win at least one of the next two against the Rockies. I think they'll win this series. If they don't win this series, then all of a sudden the conversation changes a little bit. If they win this series, if they sweep the series even, that 4-gamer against San Diego is just going to be really, really meaningful leading into the deadline and whether or not this team is actually going to be able to stick in this thing. Let's get to what's on deck, sponsored by Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best. ChesterfieldFence.com. Game 2 of this 3-game series going to be coming up tomorrow evening. Cardinals are going to have Eric Fetty on the mound. Big start for him. An opportunity for him to go out and have some success against a not very good team, all the while trying to have success in a really tough place to pitch. Kind of the dichotomy of that, playing in a really tough place against a team that's not very good. Fetty on the mound, 3-9, 4.83 ERA. Bradley Blaylock is going to make the start against the Cardinals. The right-hander does not have a win this year. He's got bad numbers, 0-2, and a 9.96 ERA. Once again, a 7:40 first pitch. That means our coverage will begin at 6:45. Certainly appreciate everybody being tuned in, everybody staying up late with us tonight. Cardinals do get the win, and we look forward to talking to you again tomorrow for more Cardinals baseball right here on KMOX.